What is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. But it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time since we've been here on Raider Nation Unlimited. Let me tell you something, man. These people with the Raiders front office, man, I'm telling you, man, they don't let anything out. They don't leave a whole lot of meat on the bone, so to speak. They don't leave a whole lot to talk about. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't give a damn. It's time to talk some Raider football, and I got something for us to talk about. But, you know what I'm saying, man? Like I always say. Like I always say. I mean, y'all know I'm like an open book, man. Let's start this podcast. Back like we never left, everybody. What is the deal? We need some more love in the room, everybody. Look at my shout outs and salutations, man. Shout outs to the whole nation, man. My brother, always first, never last, my guy, Gorell Webster. What up, Wasted? Hope you were having a great day. I am having a terrific day today, man. You know, listen, it's time to talk Raider football. Any day we talk Raider football, it is a terrific day. My brother, Raider Primos. Wasted, what's good, brother? Glad to be back in the place to be. I'm glad to have you back in the place to be. Prim, y'all got your message, bro. Look, the main thing has been the main thing, man. I've been at work a lot lately, bro. I haven't really had a chance to tap in and do anything in the YouTube sphere. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like I say, man, look, I got to keep the main thing the main thing. Raider Nation Unlimited is not what keeps the lights on here in my house. So I had to, you know, I've been working a lot. But, bro, I want to tell you, man, you did a great job on Big Mike's show, man. Shout out to my bro Primos, man. If y'all are not subscribed to Prim, go over there and go check what they got going on over there, man. You know, great up-and-coming content creators. The great Erica Ramos, my peoples. What's up, Erica? Always great to see the wonderful and powerful Wasted. Hope all is well with you. All is splendiferous with me, Erica. And I'm going to be honest with you. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate it. Shout out to Mrs. Wasted Talent, bringing me some coffee. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Look, guys, we're grasping at straws here. Now we know there's some important dates that are coming up. Camp will be starting soon. Preseason will be starting soon, and we'll be back in the swing of things, man. But you know, we always at Mount Shillmore like to keep the streets flooded with Raider content, and that's what we're going to keep doing. My guy, Darth Raider, let's get it. You already know. Demokes, what it is. Fitzy, my guy, man. What's good? Wasted. Finally, the GOAT is back live, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Elmatic, what it is, man. Super Bowl on 3. Ready, break. Jose Canelo, the great and powerful Sean John. Salute, Wasted. Josh Jacobs. 1 week to go for a long-term deal to get it done. I think the ball's in Josh Jacobs' court. The front office and David Ziegler gave him the contract. Now it's Josh's decision time. Now, see, this is the thing, Sean. And we got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. If you're over on Twitter and you want to, you know, join in on the Madcap fun, come on over to Wasted Raiders on YouTube, at Wasted Raiders. It costs you nothing. Come and view what we got going on over here. You know what I mean? Comment, share. And we ready to roll. Let me get done with my shout-outs and citations. We're going to get into the show. My guy, Richard C. My guy, I don't know who this is, bro. But that's a wild name. I'm not reading that, bro. Austin Agbar. My dog, Ruben High Stakes Rust is in a place. A Foxy 06. The great and powerful Paul Edgerton. J. Rowe. Sin Kyle. My brother, Freight Train. Big Freight Train, what it is. Marvin Lewis. What's up, man? William Vernoy. Oh, man. Oh, man, what you mean I played you, man? Yo, Docs, man, get the F out of here, bro. The Raider Room. Jack Burton, my guys, man. Now look, we got to get back to it, man. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, right? There's a lot of things that we're trying to figure out. I don't want to keep beating the Josh Jacobs horse to death, but what I am going to do is I am going to go and I'm going to give you guys kind of a roadmap of what's going on here, man. You know, we got to look back at the Patriots organization. Now, I know a lot of times people say, yo, what is this, the Patriots West? You know, what's going on here with these guys? The only thing we have to go off of, because they have such a short history with the Raiders, is what went on with the Patriots, because they are baby Belichick's, man. This is the man who taught them how to run an organization, right? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over 20 years of how the Patriots went about their business as it pertained to the franchise tag. So bear with me. I'm going to read an article. This was written last year, but it has a lot of great information I wanted to share with y'all, and we're going to rock and roll right now. Now, this is coming from 985thesportshub.com. We're going to go all the way back to the year 2002. Adam Vinatieri. Belichick used the franchise tag in his third offseason with the Patriots on Super Bowl hero Adam Vinatieri. It took just 21 days for the sides to agree on a 3-year deal that made Vinatieri the highest paid kicker in league history. Now, this is coming off of a Super Bowl, so take that with a grain of salt and or sugar. 2003, to Bucky Jones. That's a name I ain't heard in a damn long time, man. Belichick executed his first tag and trade in 2003 with Jones, who was a key member of the Patriots Super Bowl winning defense just 2 years prior in return for the 28-year-old. The Patriots got a third, fourth round, and seventh round pick, which further trades turned into linebacker Telly Banta-Kane, Dexter Reed, running back Corey Dillon. Jones will go on to play 3 more seasons in the NFL, 2 with the Saints and 1 more with the Miami Dolphins. Adam Vinatieri again. Vinatieri is the only player to be tagged twice by the Patriots in the Belichick era. This time, he played out the season under the tag before leaving the free agency the next year. Asante Samuel in 2007. This one's big right here. This is kind of on the same sheet of music as the Josh Jacobs thing. Even though, you know, Asante Samuel was a cornerback, Asante Samuel was probably one of the best players at his position at that time, and he was a huge part of that defense. And that's kind of the way I view, you know, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is one of the best players on his team. Asante Samuel's the same situation. But Samuel's the only cornerback to get the franchise tag from Bill Belichick so far, which isn't surprising given the cornerback tag is one of the most expensive. It was the 4th highest tag last season behind the quarterback, wide receiver, and defense. So they're really talking about the J.C. Jackson situation, and it's the reason why this article was written. Samuel was 26 years old. It's 1 year older than Josh Jacobs at this point. And after holding out most of the preseason, Samuel put together an all-pro year in 2007 before signing with the Eagles the next spring. Now, this is kind of what I think is going to happen, and we're going to circle back to this. Matt Castle in 2009, y'all already know what was up with that. If we're using Patriot history with franchise tag, the Jackson's future, when they're talking about Jackson's, we're gonna circle back to the Josh Jacobs thing. Castle's probably the outlier. There was all the motivation for this team to move him and very little to bring him back. He proved himself as a starting caliber player in 2008, but Tom Brady was set to return from his torn ACL. Traded along with Mark Vrabel, Castle netted the Patriots a 2nd-round pick, which used to be selecting Patrick Chung. So, you know, Castle was tagged and traded. Vince Wilfork. The most recent example of a cornerstone of a defensive player getting the tag for the Patriots is Vince Wilfork. Threatened to hold out. The team tagged him during the 2010 offseason. They go on to do just that, but only 11 days later agreed on a new 5-year, $40 million deal. Wilfork was named an All-Pro in the next 3 seasons. Now, I don't think that this situation is going to be, you know, the same. I really don't. I'm starting to think as this goes on and on that by hook or crook, this is the last we see of Josh Jacobs as a Raider this season. I really do. You know what I mean? Logan Mankins situation got a little more complicated as it occurred during the 2011 NFL lockout. The 29-year-old didn't get his new 6-year deal, which made him the highest paid guard in football until mid-August. He played up to that contract for 3 more years in New England before being traded to Tampa Bay in 2014. Wes Welker was the 4th player tagged by the Patriots in a 4-year stretch. Belichick's longest consecutive use of the tag, the 31-year-old, has one of the most productive seasons playing under the tag in 2012 before heading to Denver in free agency in 2013. Kicker Steven Gostowski. That was always a bad one for me. The Patriots tagged Gostowski in 2015. Belichick's 3rd time using the tag on the kicker. This move came somewhat as a surprise, with safety Devin McCourty also being a pending free agent at the time. Just before training camp, the Patriots and Gostowski agreed to a new 4-year deal. Now, see, the Patriots always were really big on making sure that their special teams was buttoned up. They're big special teams people, but we're not going to get into that. Joe Thuney, 2020. Now, we're getting into recent times. After not using the tag for a few years, the Patriots delivered another surprise tagging Thuney in 2020, given the team's lack of cap space and significant needs. Having one player take up nearly $15 million in cap space seemed unrealistic at the time. Thuney, then 28, played out the year in New England on the tag and then signed with the Chiefs the next spring. So we're going to move on from this, right? So that's been their recent history, in tagging players, right? And you see pretty much how they proceeded with that. Now, the reason why we're talking about this is that you can kind of see a pattern with what's going on now and what went on in the past in another organization. Now, I got to get to some of these comments, and we are going to get to, pretty much the meat of what we're talking about here, man. Hold on. My guy, J. Rowe, thank you for the $20 holler, man. Keeping the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited. Everyone hated on this regime for moves they made, Waller, Carr, and they are doing the same with JJ. Once the truth came out, we saw it wasn't worth them. It wasn't them being greasy. Let's give it time and let's see how it plays out. Now, see, bro, the thing is for me, J. Rowe, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's not about Josh Jacobs, bro. It's more so about the direction of what they feel like they have on this roster and what they're trying to accomplish this year. Now, for me, and, I've been very vocal, the reason why I feel like they should bring Josh back, right? And I've been talking about this the last few episodes. There hasn't been a whole lot to talk about, and it's the thing that's most pressing on my mind as a Raider fan. For me, it's not about, the running back market and what everyone else in the National Football League is doing. Now, I've heard people say that, and I've said this. When we brought in Josh McDaniels, people were saying that, this isn't the Raider way, right? And we don't want to be the Patriots. And what I always said was, why the hell not? The Patriots been winning for the last 20 years. They've been winning Super Bowls. If I can get anything close to what the Patriots got going on, I'm happy about that. Now, I want us to keep our identity being the Renegades and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, we needed to come into the modern era of football. And I said that, and that's why I was a champion to bring in Josh McDaniels. And I still don't have a problem with Josh McDaniels. This is the difference. The Raiders don't have a lot of players on this roster that they drafted that are actually good. So what's going to happen to the Raiders, even though you have a lot of cap penalties and stuff coming off next year, and even though they have, Max Crosby signed for the foreseeable future, right? And they have Devontae Adams signed for the next 2 years. The problem with the Raiders is they're going to run into a problem with the cap in a couple of years if they don't start getting some of these draft picks right. Because of the fact that they're going to have to go outside of the building to get impact players if they're not developing players the way we see. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is a guy that you got right. This is a guy you have in the building. This is a guy you put that C on his chest. The players on his team put that C on his chest. So he's a vocal leader. He's a productive guy. He's a guy who, for a bell cow running back to only miss like 5 games in 4 years, that's phenomenal. That's a phenomenal metric. He hasn't missed a lot of time, right? The way I view it is that you can run him into the ground for the next 2 years because you have a pedestrian quarterback. You can run him into the ground for the next 2 years. You know that he can block. He can run the ball. And it's not about how many yards he gets. It's about when he's getting those yards. It's about those tough third downs, those 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s. He breaks off a 14-yard run. It's about on that goal line when he punches the ball in. It's about when you got to have it, him stepping up and running an 80-yard touchdown. Now, we don't know if the other guys on this roster are going to be able to do that. Now, can 3 players equal 14 to 1,600 yards? That's almost a definite. It's not really about that. It's timely yards. Now, if you look at when the Raiders made the playoffs under Rich Bisaccia, right, that was Josh Jacobs' statistical worst year because he was hurt and stuff like that. But if you look at when we needed it and when the team needed to get into the playoffs and when we needed him to run like a madman, he was the one who ran us into the playoffs. We did not get into this playoffs because of Derek Carr's arm. We got into the playoffs behind the legs of Josh Jacobs. And we must never forget that. And we don't have a whole lot of playoff appearances since free agency. We don't have a whole lot of playoff appearances in the last 30 years, to be quite real with you. So you got to cherish all of that, right? The thing that I see is I see that we have a roster of guys that we don't have to pay right now. We got a roster of guys who are rookies that are trying to make their bones in this organization. And the franchise tag makes a lot of sense. And I'm hoping that Josh signs the franchise tag and comes into camp. It's looking like he isn't. I think that cooler heads can prevail and they can kind of negotiate a situation where it can be advantageous for the next year or two. This year, the next year, and the third year being a player and team option. I don't see any reason why that can't be. But let me go read my salutations here, man. All of the people in the place to be, man. We got almost 200 in the room. What it is. Hard conversation. What up, Wasted? How you been, brother? It's deja vu all over again. It's like Mac. Are we really going to let the best player at this position in the NFL go? It's looking that way. Now, see, the thing about it is this, man. There are people who want to keep Josh and there are people who don't want to keep him. And we're both right, to be honest with you, right? From a financial standpoint, the people who don't want to keep him, I understand it, right? The thing about me is that it's people, places, and things. If you were going to go that route, I think you should have gone that route pre-draft. Now, there are rumors of Josh Jacobs, and we're going to get into that. Josh Jacobs possibly being traded to the Rams, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I've read an article on it. I think it's just fodder that people are putting out there. But, my guy Mo wrote a really good article on it. We're going to read that too. But to be honest with you, man, I'm just getting to the point where, like, I don't really want to get too into whether he's going to stay, who's right, who's wrong. It's just for me, I'm more so focused on trying to laser focus in on how the Patriots used to do business and how that affects the Raiders at this point, because we have a former Patriot GM, we got a former Patriot offensive coordinator running this organization, and they got the keys to the car. And the only way we can kind of guesstimate what they're going to do is kind of looking back. You know what I'm saying? We got to look back here because, look, man, that's the only way we're going to see how they're doing things here, man. We have to look back, man. And that's the wasted word of the day. Retrocede. We have to retrocede this situation. We have to go back. We have to look back. We have to look back on the way the Patriots have done things, because that is the way that they are going about things, man. They're all business. They're all business, man. And you know what? As a fan, when it's a player that you like, it hurts, right? But if it's for the greater good of the Raiders, I'm for it. But retrocede was the wasted word of the day, everybody. Got to bring the wasted word of the day back, man. What the hell is going on? My guy, DeMarcus Webb. JJ is a first-down machine, has been since his rookie year. And that's a fact, my brother. That's a fact. J. Rowe, I get it wasted. But I'm saying people shouldn't trash this regime. We don't know what JJ is asking for. We don't, J. Rowe. And I am never going to be the guy that's going to trash this regime, especially right now. It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. The only thing that I will caution people is a lot of people say that, hey, wasted, man, Super Bowl teams aren't built paying running backs, right? But the thing about Super Bowl teams they don't just happen in one season most of the time. Most of the time, you have to crawl before you walk. Most of the time, you got to get into the playoffs. Then you got to learn how to win. Then you got to build that roster to get you where you need to go. We need to prioritize just making the playoffs, especially in this division, man. We need to prioritize making the playoffs and turning this organization around to be known as one of the better organizations in this league, and then kind of putting our chips to the table maybe in another year. But I think for Josh McDaniels, this is a very, very important. It's a make or break year for him and a lot of players on this roster, man. You know what I mean? Because this roster and this team will lose credibility if we kind of mirror what we did last year and we don't make an incremental improvement going forward. The big Ragu himself, the Raiders still have all the leverage. At some point, JJ will have to sign that tag unless he does not want to play and not get paid. And that's a fact. And listen, he has another week to make that decision about his career, and we're going to leave it alone until then. But to be quite honest with you, man, look, man, the Raiders have the hammer and the nail at this point. And at this point, come in, make the $10 million, and let's move forward. And then next year, you just move on. I mean, that's the only thing at this point that you can do. My guy, Joe Nathan, typing in for work. Joe Nation, what's the deal, man? My guy, Ryan Wrangle, what it is. Salute, Wasted, just got to work, brother, but wanted to pop in and show some love and support. Raiders, my dog, appreciate you, man. My guy, right through the counter-strike. Raider Nation, appreciate your work. Great article on Planet Raiders Wasted. I appreciate you, man. Yo, we got to get into some of them articles on Planet Raiders, too. I almost forgot, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, man. Christian Rome, where's Coach Grew? You never know what Coach Grew is hiding, man. You never know. Wasted. Would you rather trade JJ for another player possibly on the defensive side or pick in next year's draft? To be honest with you, man, I'd rather trade him for a pick. And I'm going to tell you why, right? I would rather trade him for a pick. But the thing is that I'd rather trade him for a pick to a team that looks like they're going to be picking in the mid to high part of the draft, because there are generational talents coming through at quarterback next year, right? And if you're going to move up, say, for instance, we're not one of the worst teams in the league. We're in the middle of the pack. We make the playoffs. If you are going to move up, you're going to have to drop big draft compensation and move up in next year's draft. There's a few guys that are coming out like Penix and Drake May and it's just guys that are coming out next year, man. And Caleb Williams, that this is going to be one of those quarterback drafts that are going to go down for the next few years, man. I think this is the kind of draft that you want to have first round talent. You want to have multiple first round picks so that you can be mobile and you can move up and you're not kind of relegated to where you're at. So that's what I would do. But I would have done that already, man, which is crazy, man. No, and look, Habibus, no, and it's not, look, selfishly, bro, not even selfishly, bro, do I want them to sign him? Yeah. But have I accepted the reality of it? Just from reading that article, the reality of it is that they're not going to try to negotiate with him and give him a deal. They most likely, and based off of what I saw, I saw the situation with Adam Vinatieri, right? And it's the reason why we're going to get back to the article. The Adam Vinatieri situation was squared away within a couple of days. The Vince Wilfork situation was squared away within a couple of days. The only reason why the Logan Mankins situation wasn't squared away within a couple of days was because they had the lockout that year. All of the rest of those people were either traded or they played under the tag. And that looks like what's going to happen this time. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of it. And, for Josh to hold out for the whole year, and Big Mike said something on his show yesterday. Shout out to my guy, Big Mike, about, this could be a situation where all the running backs are standing in solidarity. The thing about, when it comes to solidarity, Josh Jacobs is the man who's got to go into his home and look into his family's face. The whole solidarity thing when it comes to NFL players and when it comes to contract and money and things of that nature is something that I really don't hold a lot of stake in. It all depends on how his financial wellness is going on. It all depends on if he got that war chest ready to sit there and hold out. Because to be honest with you, it's not good for him. It's not good for the team. And if we go back and we look at running backs that have held out, right? The only time I've ever seen it working was with Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith held out. The Cowboys were a Super Bowl ready team. They had lost. I think they lost the first two games, and he came back in week 3, and they went on to just run the table, and they went to the Super Bowl. But Emmitt Smith's the only guy I've seen that's held out into the season at running back where it worked out in his favor. Now you have situations like Le'Veon Bell, who sat out a whole year, and, I don't know what the hell he did that year, but he came back, and it's like he forgot how to play football. Now, I don't see that happening to Josh Jacobs, but it can't be a good thing based off of recent history, because this league is a league that's based in histrionics. It's based on past practice. That's what everything is based on in this league at this point. What would Belichick do? Cheat. Ron Lottie, I ain't mad at you, bro. No, hey guys, nothing's changed. And that's the crazy thing. Nothing's changed. I believe they should pay Josh Jacobs. Personally, I'm talking about what I think is going to happen and what I want to happen. At the baseline of what I'm saying is this. Do I think they should pay Josh Jacobs? Yes. Do I think they are? No, they're not. And if they don't pay him, do I think he should hold out into the season and all of that? No, I don't. I think he should take that $10 million and come in here and get right, because it's not going to really help his career. The only thing that's going to help his career is to try to come back in here and try to duplicate what he did last year on some level. Now, a lot of that is going to be skewed on how many touches he gets. But I think if he's on the roster, the touches and the opportunities he gets are going to be out of necessity. Are they going to try to shoehorn, these young running backs into the fray? Yeah. But when you talk about effectiveness and we talk about, calling a game, a lot of times games are called based off of the hot hand. Coaches go with the hot hand. If they're smart coaches, they go with the hot hand. And if he's running, he's effective, he's getting first down, and it looks like he has that momentum and a flow, they're gonna ride the hot hand into the end of the season, especially if they know they have no intentions on signing him next year. They're gonna run him into the ground. So I would prefer he just come in and get this money. No, don't disrespect me. I shouldn't have read that, man. My bad. Psycho War. What a waste. I would love to keep JJ, but the money has to be right. We can't break the bank on one player. My nephew is a Queef fan, and I got him a JJ jersey. He still loves it to this day, and I respect that. And see, bro, this is the thing about all of this, bro. When we talk about money, right, we got to look at it in the context of this year and next year. After that, I totally agree with you. You know what I'm saying? But we got to look at it in the context of who we're paying now, right? We have now, if we look at the core of our offense, right? You have Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer is a rookie. He hasn't played any snaps for us yet, but he's going to be a big part of what we do because, listen, man, he was drafted way too high for us not to use him. And Josh McDaniels loves to use his tight ends, right? We're not really paying Austin Hooper. We're not paying anybody in the tight end group. Devontae Adams is who he is. He's been paid. Jacoby Myers is who he is. He's been paid. Hunter Renfrow is who he is. He's been paid, and Hunter Renfrow could be moved on from. There's no one else in the receiver group who is in line to get a big contract or that is going to garner any money. The young running backs, if they're not paying Josh, they're definitely not paying any of them, right? So if you pay Josh, you pay Josh. Colton Miller's contract is an affordable contract for a top-end, top-5 left tackle in this league. Let's make no mistake about that. And there's nobody else on the offensive line who's in line to really get a big contract. There's nobody else. We got a bunch of guys who are second-year guys, unproven guys, really in the eyes of the free agency dollar. And you got guys like Jermaine Illuminor and Andre James. Andre James got the money he's going to get. And to be honest with you, we might not have to pay Andre James. I think Andre James, if you read the article I wrote about Dylan Parham, this might be Andre James last year with the Raiders. So as far as from an offensive standpoint, there's not really a whole lot of guys that we have to pay. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, that's something different, right? Now, you got Nate Hobbs coming up, but Nate Hobbs is going to have to play out of his mind. And I don't think Nate Hobbs has the body of work for us to break the bank to keep him, right? Nate Hobbs is more valuable to the Raiders than most of the other people in the league. I don't think Nate Hobbs is going to have a robust market unless he shows his ass this year, right? Then Trayvon Merring, same difference. He's a guy we drafted. He has more value to us, but he hasn't had that breakout year yet for somebody to come and pay him. I would love for him to have that breakout year for us to be a decision for us to make. But none of these guys on the defensive side of the ball, have had that. Tyree Wilson, rookie. He's locked up. Chandler Jones. We're not paying Chandler Jones past this year, really. They spread his contract out a little bit, but it's a de minimis cap hit if we get rid of Chandler Jones if he's ineffective. And if he is effective, you can keep restructuring that thing because he's got us a little long in the tooth that probably has a premium on winning, right? And if this season is a dumpster fire, I think Chandler Jones is a guy that might not be around because he probably wants to win, right? I'm sure he wants to win. My guy, JT Douglas, man, appreciate you for the $2 super. Jacobs will go for the tag and performance bonuses. And JT, that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I just think that the Raiders at this point, if they were willing to negotiate with Josh, they would have already. And I think we just have to resign ourselves to the fact that that's not going to happen, bro. My guy, Big Perm, what's good, Wasted? I'm a little nervous by how vague and quiet JJ is being overall. Yes, I am too, bro. I really am too. That's why I keep bringing it up, man. It's nervous energy. It's almost like, bro, when we get in here, we talk, bro. This junk is like I don't know, man. It's like a freaking a support group, man. A Raider support group, man. It's crazy, man. My God, we're not trashing our Raiders. Just Josh Jerkoff and the other three stooges. South Jersey's finest brother. Yo, shout out to the dope picture. What was that? Lord Finesse and B.I.G.? That's a dope picture, bro. Bro, that's Lord Finesse. I know that ain't you. That's Lord Finesse, bro. That's a dope picture. South Jersey finest. Do me a favor. That's a picture of Lord Finesse and B.I., right? That's dope, bro. That's a dope-ass picture, man. Hard conversation. Being real, it's easy to let players go when you have a GOAT for a QB, and we don't have that. And that's fast. Hard, and that's what I've been saying the whole time, bro. My guy, Raiders fans didn't give two shits about contracts when we made the playoffs. Facts Wasted. And the funny part about people saying sign Dalvin Cook is if JJ is gone, LL, like Biggie said, it's hustling backwards. Now, see, the thing about the Dalvin Cook thing, bro, Dalvin Cook is a guy. He wants to go to a certain place. He wants to go to Miami. It looks like they're lowballing him. The Jets are in play for Dalvin Cook. I don't know why. They got Breece Hall and all these. I can't see him going to the Jets. Dalvin Cook might be in play if you got rid of Josh Jacobs. But if not, bro, I mean, to be honest with you, if they don't sign Josh Jacobs or if they traded Josh Jacobs or if Josh Jacobs held out, I'd rather see what the young guys have. That's the perfect time to kind of lean into your roster because what the Raiders haven't done in the previous few regimes is develop young talent, and they need to continue to develop young talent. I want to see all of the guys on this roster really get a real fair shake to get developed. All of the young guys who have promise. Now, there are other parts of this team, like our linebacking group, we're going to get into that a little bit, that I want to see them go outside of the gates here and go get somebody. Robert DeVille, you're stuck on one player, bro. It's a 53-man team. See, Robert, nobody's stuck on one player, bro. This is what's going on right now, bro. This is the pulse of what's going on with this team. This is the thing that's moving the needle, bro. I mean, Rob, you come into my comments all the time, and I got respect and love for what you do, bro, because you're very, very dedicated. You're a dedicated guy when it comes to what you believe in, bro. But what do you want me to do? You want me to come on here, bro, and talk about motherfucking, like who do you want me to talk about, bro? You want me to come on here and talk about fucking Thayer Mumford, bro? Like, let's be for real here, bro. Who you want me to talk about here, bro? You want me to talk about motherfucking Keelan Cole? Do y'all want to tune in for me to have a conversation about how good Keelan Cole is going to do this year? Do y'all want to talk about somebody that's going to move the needle, man? Give me a break, Rob. Come on, man. Give me a break, Rob. Come on, man. You're killing me. Darth Vader, my brother. Man, appreciate you, man, for joining the Wasted Talent Army. Shout out to you, my bro. My guy, Solo Empire, with the 1999 holla, man. Appreciate you, man. They are changing the culture here, and I love it. We've been terrible for a while now, so I agree with DC being going to clean the house. Tom Brady around is huge. I think this regime is on to something. What do you think? I think this regime is on to something if they get a chance to complete the mission. And see, the thing about it is, the owner and the fan base has to see a return on the investment we put into them. Yo, now there's so many guys who have left, right? There's so many people that we said, okay, if it's for the greater good, cool. But we got to see the greater good coming back at us this year. I'm not saying that we got to be the best team in the AFC West, bro. But what I'm saying is that, yo, we need to see incremental improvements. So for me as a realistic Raider fan, bro, from going from 6-11, going to shit, 8-9 or some shit like that, or going into 9-8 or 10-7, yo, to me, that's that incremental improvement that can make me happy. And then what I need to see is I need to see the Chris Smith Jr.'s of the world go out here and ball. I need to see the Michael Mayers of the world go out here and ball. I need to see the Tyree Wilsons of the world go out here and ball for me to be like, okay, I see what they got going on. Now, if Tyree Wilson is not out there and is not playing at the beginning of the season, and then he looks like an abject failure and bust, then I got a problem with what happened here. And then you're going to see me out here just like all of the other, guys that are calling for dude's head. Look, man, The thing about the NFL is not for long, and my support is not for long if this organization is getting fucking flushed down the tube in one fell swoop. Amazing Blue, my guy with the $10 super. Appreciate you always supporting the channel, bro. Wasted. With the NFL going away from paying running backs, do you think the talent at that position will decrease moving forward? Yeah, man. I mean, because say for instance, I'm a kid, right? And I'm a talented kid. I can pretty much play what I want, right? I would probably try to be a wide receiver. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would try to be a defensive back. Like to be real with you, especially those guys that are in college that are like a lot of times you have guys in college that are just athletes and they could play linebacker, they could play corner. You know what I'm saying? They have enough God-given ability that wherever they put them on the field, they could kind of develop them in that skill set because they have the speed, the strength, the quick twitch, they have the vision, they can go backwards, they can go forwards, they can go side to side, right? I would venture to say that, yeah, you're going to have a lot of guys that don't want to be a running back because you have shit in the National Football League now where you got guys like Deebo Samuels, bro. They're using Deebo Samuels like a running back a lot of times. Then you got the Christian McCaffreys of the world. Now, you see, the 49ers are a unique situation. The way they call that offense, everybody gets the ball. And they use those guys in a multitude of different ways, man. Like a lot of times they line Christian McCaffrey up out wide like a wide receiver, bro. And I understand why Christian McCaffrey gets paid the way he does, right? I get it. He's not just a running back. He's damn near the third best wide receiver on that team, you know, behind Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels. So I get it and I understand. We're going to more of a NBA model on offense in the NBA in the NFL, man, like almost positionless football. It's weird, man, when it comes to the skill position players, because we know the man under center is the man under center, and it is what it is. But even you see the lines being blurred with the way they protect quarterbacks. Like it was frowned upon when I was growing up to have a quarterback who was a run first quarterback or a guy who, you know, you would use that quarterback almost like how the Bills use Josh Allen as a short yardage specialist. Now they're taking advantage of that. So now I get it, bro. My guy, my girl, what's up? When I get real nervous, I can't talk. That's why I've been quiet this whole stream. Nah, I know, man. I know. I get nervous too. The talent is decreasing. Talent pool is growing. 1K yard running backs are growing on trees. Ruben Russ, see, and that's the thing. See, 1K, man, if you really look at it, right, 1,000 yards really isn't an apt measuring tool at this point because a lot of this stuff is like carries, right? It's effectiveness. Like, because it depends, right? Now, how did you get there? So if you divide 1,000 by 17, that's 58.8. So that's 59 yards a game, right? You can get 1,000 yards in 17 games, right? The thing about it is situational, bro. See, it's not just the 1,000, right? It's how many touchdowns in the red zone. How many first downs did you get? How many drives did you extend? How do you block? Can you receive the ball out of the backfield? See, the running back position is not less valuable. The thing is that it's not that it's less valuable. It's how you decide to go about using your running back. Do you want a running back that gets in the flow? Do you want to control the ball? Or are you a team that throw the ball all over the place? And I see the reason why I've really been trumpeting and kind of I've been a guy that's been at the forefront of bringing Josh back because we don't have a kind of team and a kind of quarterback that's going to drop back and throw the ball 500, 600 times. We don't have that. We have a team that is a ball control, balanced offense, an old school balanced attack. We ain't going to be like I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about 3 yards in a cloud of dust, you know, old school Giants, you know, Ron Earhart Perkins kind of thing, old school Jets with Parcells and Vinny Testaverde. Not 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We're not that kind of offense, but I think this offense is trending more towards the old school Patriot offense. The old school Kevin Falk, Corey Dillon, young Tom Brady that didn't throw the ball all over the place. 480 attempts at passing, you know, just as many runs. So when you have that, you want to have a guy that can get you those positive gains. You want to have that guy that can break off that 20, 30-yard run. I mean, that's how you win. Steve Jones. Nobody's going to pay JJ what he will get on the tag. Zeus is waiting in the wings. They love the way JJ breaks tackles, though. Now, see, Steve, you don't know what people are going to pay him, bro. He might be the final, lynch point to somebody's offense. We have no idea. I don't even want to broach that, bro. We're going to get out of this Josh Jacobs thing. I've been talking about it too much, man. But what I really wanted to really get into was the way the Patriots go about their business. And when I went back and looked at historically what they've done over the last 20 years, it is showing me that they are not paying this man. They're not going to pay this man. It's either play under the tag, like they say, get down with the click or get found in the ditch. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen, man. Raider fans will give Gruden 10 years to turn around, but won't give this regime 3 years. And that's what I've always been saying. Look, bro, I think I think that there's a sentiment in this fan base right now, bro, that is too nostalgic based. See, and the thing is, and I understand why it's this way. I get why it's this way. Because, guys, you got to realize something. The only thing we've really had to hang our hat on for the last 25 years is fucking nostalgia. We're nostalgia junkies in Raider Nation, bro. The only thing we've had to hang our hat on is nostalgia. The past. The greatness of the Raiders in the past. The autumn wind. That's what we've been hanging our hat on. You got kids who weren't even born that are Raider fans right now that I see in my chat. They weren't even born when Bo Jackson was playing. They don't know shit about Marcus Allen, bro. They don't know nothing about no Howie Long. Only thing they know is NFL films. They don't even know about Rich Gannon. It was crazy, man. It was one guy, man, I can't remember, man, as a young cat, man, that's always around, look, man, I'm getting old. But he put up a video on YouTube and he was talking about the AFC Championship game with Rich Gannon, man, when we beat Tennessee Titans. And the kid said, yo, I wasn't even born. And I'm like, damn, yo, you know what I'm saying? That hurts. So there hasn't been a lot of success floating around here, bro. And the only thing that we've had to really digest over the last few years is nostalgia. So I understand why our fans are so nostalgic. I understand why our fans will allow John Gruden to fucking run this organization into the ground and not say a word, because he is the last guy that really had success here as a head coach. Real success. Not 1 year here and there and stuff like that. So I understand it and I get it. But is it right? No. So we got to have more to hang our hat on than fucking nostalgia, guys. That's what we need. T. Severe. We were in the same situation with Renfro, and these same people were screaming to pay him. 1 year later, y'all already regretting that shit. The same will happen with JJ. See, that's a lot different. Now, see, I'm gonna tell you why. One, I definitely wasn't saying we should give Hunter Renfro that money. The thing was, when they gave it to him, I said, hey, man, he played well. He deserves it. Fuck it. I'm all for people getting paid, right? The difference is, to compare Hunter Renfro and Josh Jacobs, I think is malpractice, because Josh Jacobs is a much better running back than Hunter Renfro is a wide receiver, right? Also, conversely, Hunter Renfro, as currently constituted on this roster, is the number 3 receiver in this roster. Josh Jacobs is our second best player damn near in his team. He's probably our third best player on his team. It's markedly different. I think like Josh Jacobs' usage rate, how much he touched the ball and how much he affects the flow of our offense is completely different than Hunter Renfro. I think you can do without Hunter Renfro because you brought in a Jacoby Myers. With Josh Jacobs, it depends, man. We are dealing with unknown commodities if we're looking at it from the standpoint that we're going to give the ball to these young guys and they're going to be good. We're looking at a standpoint where, do I know, Zamir White can run the football? I think Zamir White has a lot of talent. I think Britton Brown has a lot of talent. Britton Brown is a guy, man, that out of UCLA, man, who is a talented running back. He's a big guy. I don't know whether the guy can block. I don't know if he understands the passing concepts. It's a lot of different things where I don't know. Now, the one way you find out is to get reps, right? But I don't want to find that out without having Josh on the roster, at least for this year. I don't. And the thing is, there's a way that you can structure this thing where he gets paid this year, the next year, and you can get rid of him the third year when it's time for you to pay, a young quarterback or something like that. This is about organization, politics, and this new administration. Their decision-making process is one of the best prospects the Raiders had in years. And that's the way I feel, man. I just read an article that Adams will demand a trade to the Saints. Bro, I don't think so. I don't know where you read that article, but I think that's bullshit. And not for nothing, the cap hit will be monstrous if Devontae Adams gets traded from the Raiders. It will be ridiculous, bro. or cut or whatever. It's nothing. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen, bro. Yep, said bring back Spook, my dog. Yo, man, look, man, Jalen Richard was my dog, man. I wonder how Jalen Richard is doing, man. Would love to have Jalen Richard on the show too, man. Wasted. I think you could do a good Morgan Freeman impersonation. I used to do Morgan Freeman, bro. That's to do Morgan Freeman all the time, bro. My guy, Jeff Acosta. Is JJ gonna play on the FT? In my opinion, he bought his inventory to change his number. A waste of bread if he doesn't. Jeff Acosta, I think you're right, bro. Think you're right. Wasted. That's because back in the day, it was open field on quarterbacks that crossed that imaginary line that we call the line of scrimmage. Too many rules to protect them nowadays in football, and I get it. I get it. Quarterbacks can pretty much sit back and do what they want, bro. But that's not what we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with the Raiders right now. We're dealing with a brittle quarterback who hasn't thrown for over 500 attempts. And I'm not going to keep going in this. We got other things to get into today. We've been at this for almost 50 minutes, guys. It's ridiculous. Giovanni B. Yo, Wasted, what's good, fam? It's Raider nostalgia plus Patriot contempt and the fact that JMD just isn't a likable guy. We got to learn. We got to let them build, though. See, now, guys, the thing about it is, will you like Josh McDaniels if he wins? You go like him if he win, right? Like, why the fuck? Like, bro, we don't have to deal with Josh McDaniels. We're not there in the media pool every day. We don't play for Josh McDaniels. We love the Raiders. I don't give a fuck whether he's likable. There's a lot of guys that coach the Raiders who are likable guys who didn't do a good job here. You know, and the thing about this Josh Jacobs situation, man, these are those kind of decisions, man, that derail regimes. There's always, when you see a regime that doesn't do well, there's always one pinnacle moment in that regime to where it could have went right or left, and then it winds up going left because they made a certain decision. Let me give you an example. Like when Hugh Jackson was here with the Raiders. Hugh Jackson had this team going in a trajectory where we looked like we were going to make the playoffs. Things were turning around. Things were looking good. Al Davis dies. Hugh Jackson kind of is the de facto leader of the organization. We hadn't hired Reggie McKenzie yet. He was unchained. Mark gave him the keys during the season. And the move that set the Raiders back for years to come was Hugh Jackson going out and trading for Carson Palmer. Right? That was the thing. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. That set us back. Carson Palmer didn't play well. We got rid of Jason Campbell, who was playing well, wasn't getting paid that much. We gave up premium draft capital. We didn't have a first-round pick. And then if you look at it, it kind of set the stage for what Reggie McKenzie had to do when he came in. We were in salary cap hell. We were a fringe playoff team anyway, but that was a bad decision right there, right? These are the kind of moves, man. If you talk about, back during the Jack Del Rio era, that game in Washington, that was the turning point right there. If you talk about the Gruden regime, I think the Gruden regime's biggest mistake was letting Khalil Mack go. Because they spent, and listen, they were able to get, Max Crosby in the fourth round. But could you imagine how much better the Max Crosby move would look had you had a Khalil Mack here to mentor Max Crosby? And you could have had these two guys playing at the same time here. And then if you look at what we got for it, yeah, it looked great at the time, but they didn't do anything with it. Those guys are gone. Cleveland Farrell's gone. I'd rather have Khalil Mack here and all of that contract money than Cleveland Farrell, Jonathan Abrams, and all the land of misfit toys we wound up getting off of that deal. So it's always that one thing, right? Shin Sham. So are we going to trade Jacobs to go 4-13? I don't know, my brother. I don't know. I hope not. I just hope he just signs the tag and comes in and plays, man. Salute, Wasted. How do you think the team feels about Josh Jacobs' comments? How he feels about trusting the team they put together? Bro, I don't know. But at this point, all of this stuff is just negotiation tactics. It's all bullshit. As long as people get their money, man, everybody's happy at that point. The guys in the locker room understand what's going on. They understand that it's a negotiation. They're big boys. And as far as the coaches and stuff go, it's not personal. They know. They know he deserves it. They know he wants his money. But it's all what they're willing to do at this point. Sniper Jones, the great and powerful. Salute, brother. People eat their words with Running Renfro going. Yes, he dealt with injuries. But Derek Carr would hang him out to get killed. And he was doing punt returns, which he should never do. Now, see, Sniper, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think there's a lot of truth to that. And I've been saying that, right? But Hunter Renfrow is a guy who has dealt with injuries since he was at Clemson, right? Hunter Renfrow was also a guy who, when God was giving out natural ability and size and things like that, he didn't get a whole lot of that. So Hunter Renfrow was a guy already who is vulnerable. He's vulnerable, man, because he's a smaller football player, right? And then when you talk about eating their words, right? Derek Carr had a tendency to force the football to guys that he was close with. Forced the ball, kept forcing it, kept forcing it, kept forcing it. So when he forced the football at Hunter Renfrow ate. He made a lot of tough catches, But the thing is, on a roster with Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, he's not gonna have the same value as he did with Derek Carr. I can't see Garoppolo forcing the football at Hunter Renfrow. I don't. So at this point, you're paying him $13 million a year to be a third receiver. And I don't think that's good value for the Raiders singularly. And if you look at his market around the league, I think people around the league have that very same sentiment, my brother. Let me get down, man. What was Josh Jacobs regarded as a back before last year? Y'all want to pay for an outlier in production? At the time we paid Hunter, he was a wide receiver number one. I see, bro, that's a weird way to look at it, bro, because we had nobody at wide receiver right then. So basically, you have guys like in the NBA, right? Charles Barkley said this. You have guys that score a lot of points because they're in a bad team and they get to take a lot of shots, right? I think with Renfrow at that time, he was a wide receiver number one out of necessity, man. Henry Ruggs went to jail. You know what I mean? And it was what it was. Now, if had Henry Ruggs been on his roster, I don't think Hunter's production would have looked the same way. Now with Josh Jacobs, that wasn't really an outlier. Now you say the year before this he had 800 yards, but he also was hurt in that season, and they were also trying to throw the football all over the field, and they were passing the ball a lot. Right now, but when the rubber met the road at the end of the season, Josh Jacobs carried this football team, and he carried that production into the next season. And if you look at from his rookie season, his second season, he was 1,000-yard back, and he was carrying a team as a rookie. So you have to put things in context. You got to look at it from the perspective of, okay, when you got to have it, who you want to have the ball in their hand? It's Josh Jacobs. But look, man, we are going to get off of this whole Josh thing, man, and we're gonna get into what I saw today, which is a little crazy, man. Mo wrote an article, man. Mo, shout out to Mo from Bleacher Report, bro. Mo was talking about the Raiders being in on free agent linebacker Quan Alexander. Now, guys, I got to know something, man. I mean, Quan Alexander is a guy that, really in his second year in the league, Quan Alexander was a superstar, man. His second year in the league, and he's been very, very injury prone over the years. And to be real with you, man, I would love if the Raiders would think about bringing in a Quan Alexander, man. I would love it, man. I mean, Quan Alexander, man, is a guy who, when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was a star. The New York Jets had him last year. He played very, very well. I think he had like 69 tackles last year. But, in recent years, Alexander played, well on all three downs, man. Since 2021, he's allowed a passing rate in the below 90. He recorded 4 sacks, 13 tackles for loss last season with the Jets, and he only missed 5.5% of his tackle attempts. He's a trustworthy veteran, man, that you can put in the middle of a defense, and you can put him on the outside as well. Now, Patrick Graham has not been a guy that has been known to really utilize his linebackers in the same way traditionally as others. Patrick Graham is a guy, and we've said this over and over again. Patrick Graham is a guy who is a 3 safety kind of look guy. You know what I mean? But he's also the kind of defensive coordinator that I like because I think he utilizes his talented players, man. The Raiders should probably be a team that's linked to him because if you look at it, our weakest positional group is the linebacker group, man. And you want to try to develop Devon Diablo, man, and you want him to get the chance to develop into a star and a leader. But, we should really consider having that veteran presence. That veteran presence is something that I see that's missing, and that's going to be a big hole on this team throughout the season if we can't go into it having that guy to go to. Now, in the last few years, we've had Denzel Perryman, and even though Denzel Perryman got hurt last year, the years before that, he was excellent for the Raiders. Excellent, man. And I definitely think, we keep talking about bringing in Marcus Peters, man. I would much rather bring in a Quan Alexander at this point. I mean, what do y'all think about that, man? What do y'all think? I mean, what do y'all think, man? Quan Alexander is the guy, man. I mean, to me. I mean, look, Peters is a guy who I don't know how he's going to play because he's been hurt so much. Quan Alexander will probably come in at a cheaper price, and he's going to fulfill a need that the Raiders definitely need on defense. You can't go into this season with the linebacking core that we got. I can't see it. Hot Beavers, Quan Alexander, yeah. Wait a minute, Mondo Reyes, Alexander over Peters. Hell no, wasted. So why not? Why not? I mean, I think we have a hell of a lot more talent in our defensive secondary than we do in our linebacker room. A hell of a lot more talent. We was 7-3 when that Palmer trade went down and in first place and missed the playoffs. We set up Cincy for years with them picks. I knew as soon as that trade went down, the dance he was fired. That's right, man. Okay, Hot Beavers. If you sign Peters, who gets cut? I don't know, man. I see. The thing is, like, I would just be talking out of my ass right now. I haven't seen these guys in preseason. We got to go in the preseason and see what we got, man. So Frankie Skinny says, I'd rather have Van Noy and Evans over Alexander at linebacker. I don't know, man. I like Quan Alexander, man. I like Quan Alexander. And see, like, look, bro, when you talk about talent, I think Quan Alexander's a more talented football player than Kyle Van Noy, man. So to me, you can know the system all you want and just not be as talented. I would rather have a more talented football player. My guy, Tony Sheffield. Linebackers are the weakest link right now. And that's why we better get everywhere else, be better on everywhere else on the D. Now, I see that, bro. My bad. I stuttered. My bad. Joe Robinson, we do need linebackers, so I take Alexander over Peters any day. We can draft DBs and sign them in free agency. I mean, we kind of attacked the DB room pretty good in free agency, man. I think we did, man. I personally think we did. I personally think we did, man. My guy, Big Mike Raider. Oh, man. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, bro. So you're saying Van Noy is more versatile. I mean, look, man, let's really go into this, right? So for me, right, I would bring Quan Alexander in to be an outside linebacker. I would bring him in to be a will, and that's pretty much where I would have him. So let's do like a quick comparison, man. Quan Alexander. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's look up Kyle Van Noy's years. Kyle Van Noy's stats. Let's look them up, right? 2023, 22. Chargers. 46 tackles, 5 sacks. New England, 66 tackles, 1 interception, 5 sacks. I mean, Kyle Van Noy looks like he gets after the quarterback pretty good, man. Kyle Van Noy. So let's look at Quan Alexander. See, the thing I'm looking at with Quan Alexander is his coverage grade. To me, he's better in pass coverage, and that's the reason why I would bring him in. So, 2022, Quan Alexander, 69 tackles, 27 assists, 6 tackles for loss. How many sacks he had this year? 2021, he had 3.5. Last year, only had a half a sack. So Kyle Van Noy definitely gets after the quarterback better. You know what I'm saying? But for me, for what we need coverage in this division. I like Quan Alexander. And I think he would come at a cheaper price than Kyle Van Noy at this point. Peters brings experience and attitude and his playmaking ability this defense needs. He gets physical with wideouts. He also gets burnt too, Sean Kelder. And see, I think a lot of the Marcus Peters hype isn't really about what kind of player he is now. I think a lot of it is 40% of it is the fact that he grew up in Oakland. A lot of it is the fact that he's Marshawn Lynch's cousin. Let's be real here, yo. Like a lot of y'all are in on Marcus Peters so hard because y'all know he grew up in Oakland, he grew up in the Bay. Nostalgia again, right? And we're not looking at the fact that, yo, he's coming off an injury and he's coming off of a really bad year. Right now, Quan Alexander's always been an injury-prone guy. He's a guy you can get on the scrap heap, bring in here, and you got to look forward to the future, right? The Raiders really are in a situation where they have to be very, very cap conscious, right? And I see how they're moving now. I think the Quan Alexander move will be a good move for this particular year. So it will leave you the room to have and develop all these young linebackers on the roster. And when they mature and become better guys and they take that position from him, the Mastersons of the world, all these guys, when they take that position, then you could just jettison him. You don't have to pay him a whole lot of money, man. My guy, I'm actually interested to see Graham's concept at linebacker safety hybrid. If it works, we can stop the Chiefs. Great. If not, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And that's the thing. I think Patrick Graham is the guy who is going to be the change that's going to happen if the Raiders don't play well. I don't see Mark Davis moving on from this coach and his GM. It's going to cost him too much money. It's going to make the Raiders look like a dumpster fire. And I think that the only thing that you're going to be able to give the Raider fan base is somebody's got to go if we're bad this year. We're going to be looking for our pound of flesh. Y'all know that as an organization, bro. My guy, James Monroe, what's good, Wasted? Good evening. You coming in late. What did I miss? Nothing much, man. More Josh Jacobs shit, more linebacker talk. You know how I go. Realist Raider. Facts. Peters is way past it. And I see it like that. See, like the thing about where the Raiders are cap-wise, right? We have a lot of cap penalties this year. We're trying to build something, but you got to have guys on the roster who have kind of saw live bullets, right? I think the linebacker room is woefully, woefully light. You got to have at least one guy on that, right? Even if he doesn't start, you got to have that guy on the roster that has taken live bullets and that you can put out there and could give you a coherent effort for at least 4 or 5 games. You know what I mean? I just think that we're severely undervaluing the linebacker room. Severely, man. My guy, Bill Gates in a place to be. I mean, I think severely, bro. Severely. And I think what's going on, too, with the Raiders, when you talk about the linebacker position, I think you're going to see that NASCAR look. You're going to see Chandler Jones playing a lot of linebacker. You see Tyree Wilson with his hand in the ground. You're going to see Max Crosby with his hand in the ground. And I understand that. But I think you need to have some guys who are linebackers by trade in this locker room, bro. There's not enough of them guys there, man. Dan Tyson, Mitchell talked about Peters' numbers are better in press man, which our deep coordinator likes to run. Yeah, his numbers are pretty decent in press man, but he still got burnt a lot last year, bro. And I don't see Marcus Peters being another year older getting any better. I don't see it. I would rather see what we have in the locker room now because we went out and we addressed, the corner position in a real way. We addressed it in a real way. We went out and got the Duke Shelleys of the world, David Long Jr.'s of the world. We have a young budding star, Nate Hobbs, on the roster. We got a lot of good safeties on this roster. We went out and got Chris Smith Jr. We went and drafted Jacorian Bennett. We have young, promising players at the cornerback position. We don't have a whole lot of young, promising players at the linebacker position. We have Luke Masterson and we have Devon Diablo, and that's it. And I think this linebacker room is a little light in the shorts right now, man. I do, man. And I personally don't think Marcus Peters. I think his best days are beyond him. I do, and I think Raider Nation is being a little nostalgic with him too, because they want these guys who grew up Raider fans. To me, that has nothing to do with how well he's going to play for this team now. I'm all about what's going to happen now, man. This is not the James Bradbury situation here, bro. I don't think you're going to get that from him. I don't think you're going to get that level of play from him. Like, if this was Marcus Peters 3-4 years ago, I'd be all on board. I'd be ready to give a draft capital and everything for him. I just think that he's not going to play. I don't think his play is going to get better from where it was last year. Now, some say that a lot of that happened because the defensive coordinator with the Ravens, was new. And Wink Martindale left. And Wink Martindale is a guy who kind of simplifies his defense. People play very well under Wink Martindale, man. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't see it. I got to stay hydrated up in this piece, man. Joe Robinson Jr., we need real linebackers bad. I feel like that too. I feel like that too. And I think we need guys who have the physicality to stay with a guy like Travis Kelce, bro. We got all of these DBs, right? And they can probably stay with Travis Kelce, but they can't stay with him. And it's not, listen, bro, when you talk about Hall of Fame players, Travis Kelce, as much as I hate him with a fire of 1,000 suns, man. But he's a guy that you don't stop Travis Kelce. But I just think that there's a part of us where whatever style of play the Chiefs are willing to play, we have to have a counter for that somewhere on his roster. We got to have a counter somewhere, man. We got to have a guy that can rough his ass up a little bit. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But the thing about it is this. You guys got to realize something, man. And I don't want to be the get off my lawn guy. But y'all got to realize something, man. Styles make fights, man. In boxing and in football. You have to be versatile. I think the running back room is so thin, we're not able to be versatile. We're not able to be versatile, man. 808 Raider. Does Chris Smith start at safety? Is Marion going to chop and block? Still a lot of questions at safety. The thing about it is that I think there are more answers than questions at safety. We went out and we got Epps. We got a guy, Chris Smith Jr., who played on a championship team, championship defense, around a bunch of stud players. I think he is going to show and prove. And I think Trayvon Marion is the least of our problems. I don't think he's the guy in the chopping block. And this is the thing. You got to realize something. Deron Harmon was never re-signed, too. He was never re-signed, and that's the thing. So they're clearing the way. They're clearing the way to have young guys on his roster. And if you talk about the pro comp when it comes to Chris Smith Jr., it's Deron Harmon. So that's a great thing, man. JR said, pause wasted. Man, what the F you talking about, man? Pause. What are we pausing for, bro? What are we pausing for, man? I mean, why? Ooh, what are we pausing for, JR? What are we pausing for? Oh, man. Peace with the loss of his speed pushes him to play more physical, which equals more third down flags. Realist Raider, that is a fact, bro. That is a fact. I've been screaming for years. Can we please draft some linebackers? Enrico Rios, it's the funniest thing, man, because around the league, bro, if you get a great linebacker, bro, it's almost like finding money, man. Nobody in the league is really got the answers at linebacker. It's not like how it used to be where it was just droves of guys coming in and balling out. It's only a handful of guys who are playing at that level, man. My guy, Robert DeVere, do you imagine if we have an awesome-ass defense this year? I mean, a shutdown defense not allowing 27 points. I mean, dog, to us, that'll be a shutdown defense. I mean, if we get our defense to allow 15 to 16 points a game, man, I mean, my God, but that's a great defense in today's NFL. Today's NFL, the metric is a lot different. I don't think you want to see the Baltimore Ravens and the 85 Bears anymore. JR roughing his ass up. Pause wasted. F you. Yo, JR, man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You got to give me a little more credit. Man, we talk about football. I can't say rough. Oh, man, come on, bro. It's effed up, man. JR, man, you listen, man, you are freaking dangerously close to getting Matumbo'd out here. It's right. But dangerously close to getting blocked. It's like, nah, I'm messing with you, bro. Shout out to my dog, JR, man. Shout out, man. Mondo Reyes, man, I still want that homegrown Oakland dog and Peters. Bro, see, that's the problem, bro. Like, yo, to me, yeah, that would have been great a couple years ago, bro. We was still balling, bro. But, like, man, to me, I can't do anything with that homegrown shit. I can't do nothing with that. Like, does the homegrown talent being from the Raider, all that, does, like, listen, if he's coming home in the prime of his career and he was a Raider fan and shit like that, like Devontae Adams, then great. Great. But that's not what it is, man. It's not what it is. Darth Raider, imagine drafting Ray Luke, man. I couldn't even imagine, bro. Could not even imagine, yo. My dog JR. Shout out to my dog JR, man. Yo, man. So, okay. The Quan Alexander situation. Now, guys, we've been going an hour and 10 minutes, man. It's been good to get back on the channel, get back rocking, man. Is there anything that y'all want to get into on the way out of here, man? Is there anything, man? My guy Top Beats, you're wasted. We improved at the safety position. But what are your thoughts on the secondary this year? My thoughts on the secondary this year is, man, I'm really high on the secondary this year, man. I think that we have a multitude of players to play different styles because, like we said, Patrick Graham is a very, very versatile play caller in the defensive end of the football. We got guys, man, that can like guys like a Meek Robinson that could possibly make this roster. Meek Robinson is a shorter guy, but he's a dog. He's physical. You know what I'm saying? He's got speed. We got the Nate Hobbs of the world. We got the Chris Smith Juniors of the world. We got the Marcus Epps of the world, Trayvon Merritt. I think we got a lot of young guys with a lot of talent. I think the highest upside for this team is our secondary as a whole. I really do. I think our secondary is going to shock the world the way that line did last year. What are your thoughts on Chandler Jones, the outside linebacker? Will he have enough burst? I have to see how he plays, taking off the 18 pounds he took off. He looks like he will. I mean, but look, he's not getting any younger, right? But Chandler Jones is a guy where he doesn't necessarily need to be the fastest guy in the world because of his intellect and him knowing what angles to take and, knowing the game. So I think Chandler Jones, man, and mark it down. I say Chandler Jones gets 8 sacks this year. 8 sacks. I think he holds up. I think he holds the edge playing that outside linebacker. I really do, man. Yeah, y'all bugging, man. Maybe Bernie is him. Yeah, Dan Tesler. I hope Bernie is him, bro. He's a guy I was talking about on draft day. I heard a lot about him. My cousin. Shout out to my cousin Kevin. His son plays for the University of Florida right now. And he told me to watch out for Amari Burney. You know what I mean? And then I went back. I looked at some all 22 tape. And Amari Burney's a guy, man, that has a lot of talent, man. But he's a rookie, bro. And the thing about it is, it's the problem, guys. What are the odds we have a team full of rookies who perform in that way? You know what I'm saying? Like, even with the Chiefs last year, they were supposed to be a rebuilding year last year. They had a bunch of rookies who showed up, right? And the thing with the Chiefs was a lot of their rookies start showing up towards the end of the year, and they have such a great quarterback that they were able to overcome a lot of games. They were able to win some games they probably shouldn't have, and they put themselves in a position for their rookies to pay dividends later on in the season, right? The odds are most teams don't have, 4 or 5 rookies on one side of the football that just take over and dominate like that. Now, do I think going forward, like not this year, but next year, some of these guys will play well? Yeah, but what are the odds all these guys come in and ball out this year, man? So maybe Bernie is him, bro. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I got my money on Chris Smith. I got my money on Chris Smith, bro. I do. I think Chris Smith is going to play excellent, bro. I think Jacorian Bennett is going to be a guy we're going to be pleasantly surprised by. And I think Tyree Wilson is just a guy, man, that he rolls out of bed. God made him 7 sacks standing on his head. God just made him a 7-sack guy, 10-sack guy because of his measurables, bro. So I think, those are the 3 rookies that we're probably going to get the most out of this year, man. Good evening to everybody. Jared Taylor, what's in a place to be, man? What's going on, bro? Jared Taylor, we got a Redskin guy in here, man. Mark Salter, my guy. Great show, mega informative. Man, thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Daniel, high stakes Malero. We are beating the Chiefs in the playoffs. God damn it. I hope you right about that, man. DeMarcus Webb on the way out. So we talk about some hip hop. Wasted. Biggie or Ice Cube? Storytelling track. Who you got both in a prime? Look, man, Ice Cube, when I was a kid, man, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. My favorite rappers, pre-Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, my favorite rappers were Ice Cube, Big Daddy Kane, Ice Cube, Big Daddy Kane, and LL Cool J. Those are my favorite rappers growing up. Slick Rick too, but Slick Rick didn't have as much material. You know what I mean? I didn't really get on G-Rap till I got a little older. You know what I'm saying? I like G-Rap, but I didn't get up on him really as far as like deep into listening to his music until I got a little bit older. Like when I got into like high school era, you know what I'm saying? But when Cube came out, I was like a middle school kid. You know what I'm saying? So Cube was like my favorite rap. I loved Ice Cube, bro. But the level that Biggie reached telling stories, bro, is see, it's Biggie Smalls is a hard guy to talk about, bro, because he don't have as much material as these other guys. So it's hard. Like Biggie's best, I haven't seen anybody best be that. There's nobody in hip hop where I can put their best against Biggie's best at his height. There's not many guys. There's just, the Nas's, the Pacs, and the Jay-Z's of the world, and the Cubes and guys like that. I gotta say, man, Biggie at his height, telling the story, and Cube at his height, it has to be Biggie Smalls. It's gotta be big. You know what I'm saying? I love Cube, but Cube's stories kind of, his stories were dope, and he got so many more storytelling joints. But man, Biggie, man, I got a story to tell and all that. I gotta say, big man. Yeah, crazy, man. yo, listen, bro, that's it. Alejandro draws. That is it. You say something like that, you're gonna get matumboed. You get blocked talking that nonsense. Vanilla Ice, get the F out of here. The F out of here. Top beats. Yo, I love Guru and Preem. Those are my guys, but I can't put them up there, yo. Mac Dre and Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep, you crazy? Of course, man. Mac Dre was cool, but this Mobb Deep, what's the mob we talking about, bro? Oh my God, yo. Y'all tweak it. Now we not forgetting Meth, but Meth isn't a great storyteller like that. Like Meth is a great MC in a group. He's a group like as a solo artist. I'm not a huge Method Man fan as a solo artist. I loved Method Man as a group, being in the Wu-Tang. As a solo artist, Method Man had his time. He changed hip hop, but I can't put Method up there with Cube and Biggie and shit. He don't have the solo bodies of work to talk about Method Man in that breath. Now is Method Man one of the greats? Yeah, but Method Man is not even the best rapper in his group. You know what I'm saying? So nah, man. And you know who else is a guy too? Was one of my favorites, and still is one of my favorites. My top 10, Scarface. Wild Master. He went back. Grandmaster Flash of the Furious 5, The Message. Timeless. Yeah, but bro, it's like, man, hip hop is going around the ringers, bro. That shit is going, bro. He said, message? Oh my God, man. Yeah, Nas, of course, bro. Nas. Yo, and Mac Dre was a legend. Mac Dre was nice, bro. Wasted be like wax, a DJ like a can do. Get the fuck out of here. Vanilla Ice. Y'all, yo, bro. I don't know if any of y'all ever remember this, yo. Do y'all remember they had this show on MTV? It was called 25 Lame, right? Where they were retiring the 25 lamest videos of all time on MTV, and it will never be played on MTV again. And they came out and they broke up the VHS tape. And Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby was one of the lamest videos of all time. And Vanilla Ice came on there to break up his tape, and it was supposed to be a fun thing. It was like Janine Garoppolo and all of them, and Chris Kattan from Night at the Roxbury, all the Saturday Night Live people, and fucking Vanilla Ice went bananas, tore the set down and everything. Does anybody remember that, yo? Please tell me y'all remember. Bro, I gotta find that shit. I'm gonna put it on my Instagram. Y'all go on my Instagram and check that out, yo. It was crazy, bro. Crazy, yo. Hey, yo, Top. Yeah, you definitely need to do a Scarface mix, bro, along with Nas. Definitely, yo. Definitely, bro. Big L, definitely. Yeah. See, y'all going somewhere else, yo. Rap isn't about a story. Method Man is one of the best lyricists ever. Nobody said Method Man wasn't. I fuck with Meth, bro. I'm just saying Method Man, you can't put Method Man against guys like Ice Cube, bro. Ice Cube got like 3 classic albums by itself, bro. Like fucking you can't, bro. You can't put Method Man against B.I.G., bro. Like B.I.G., both his albums are classics. Meth don't have one classic on his own, bro. Method Man is one of the great group rappers ever. He changed hip hop. He changed the way everybody else flowed. I give Meth a lot of. I love Method Man, but can I say Method Man is the best member of the Wu-Tang? No, I got Inspector Deck and Ghostface over him, bro. I do. I'm just gonna be honest. I got Ray over him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can't put Method Man up against Ice Cube, bro. Ice Cube is the motherfucking man, bro. I think that's more of an apt comparison, Ice Cube versus Method Man, because they both originally come from groups as opposed to B.I.G., man. Ice Cube is definitely the man, yo. Definitely the man. Yeah, man. But y'all, look, man, I think it's time to get up out of here, man. We've been going at this almost an hour and a half, man. Q versus Common. Yeah, nah, man. Common won that, bro. Common won that. As far as the battle go, Common won that. Common cook Ice Cube. Said Common versus Cube. Yeah, look, we definitely got to give the Rebel Lionesses flowers, yo. And Ice Cube wrote for one of the greatest groups in the history of hip hop. That's a little different, bro. Yeah, Rakim is that. I mean, Rakim is the he's the fucking alpha and omega when it comes to hip hop, bro. Like Ice Cube, nobody, not Ice Cube, but Rakim, nobody changed hip hop more than Rakim, bro. Nobody. Like everybody was rapping one way when before Rakim, and after Rakim, everyone else was rapping a whole nother way. Rakim is the pinnacle note in hip hop. Hey, yo, let me ask y'all a question. While I got y'all in here, we got almost 250 in the room, right? We had 300. How many of y'all will be up for a Built Different podcast tonight? Everybody, give me a 1 in the chat if y'all up for Built Different. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all up for Built Different. Give me a 2 if y'all not. Give me a 1. Big Mike Raider, bro, I'll keep it real. Nas King Disease series puts him above Jay-Z to me. I don't know. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, that's Nas, bro. I mean, listen, bro, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. Like, bro, real shit, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Like, when we talk about Nas and Jay and the greats, when you get into that little room of dudes, bro, pause. These are the guys that, yo, like, you not wrong, bro. If you say Tupac is better than Nas, then you're right. If you say Nas better than Tupac, you're right. If you say Big or Jay, like, yo, it's whatever. It's a personal preference kind of thing, man. Yo, we got a lot of ones in here, y'all. We got a lot of ones in here. Yo, we gonna put this together, man. We gonna put this together, man. Donald Burr, where you been, bro? Where you been, Donald? What's going on? Yeah, man. But yo, all right, look, we gonna put together some Built Different shit, yo. Listen, the crowd has spoken. T. Severe, I disagree with you once again, T. Severe. I disagree with you once again. I mean, I love 3 Stacks. To me, 3 Stacks is, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? But the amount of material that 3 Stacks has on his own, I can't put him up there. Like everybody puts him up there in that pantheon of like guys like Nas and shit. It's like, bro, if you don't do albums with just your material, bro, just you, it's easier for you to be in a group and to do this. So you to get on a feature and do it. Do that shit consistently, bro. Like, like the Nas's and the J's, bro. That's hard, bro. That's hard because there's a lot of guys, man, that like, yo, I'm gonna give you an example. Like if Snoop Dogg had just done and been on the trajectory he was on at the beginning of his career, yo, and kind of like stayed with Dr. Dre and kind of stayed in his pocket, man, who knows what would have happened in the beginning of his career. But what winds up happening, as you have to keep churning them albums out by yourself, sometimes you can lose relevance in the middle of your career, i.e. DMX. Look at your young ass. Classic man Q talking about Lil Wayne is the GOAT. Lil Wayne is nice, bro. But the GOAT, bro, It's pretty big, man. That's a pretty big statement, bro. It's a pretty big statement, bro. We got to do a Build Different podcast, man. Hey, but Joe, Classic Man Q, you know what I'm gonna say to you, bro. Talking that Lil Wayne nonsense.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
Sit your young ass down with that, man. Go ahead, man. But y'all, look, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. We almost an hour and a half at this shit, man. I gotta go. I'm about to get right, go eat, man. Go to the gym, you know what I'm saying? And yo, we gonna get back at it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody who stayed around. And my dog, Ridgeback, what it is, man. But we gonna get out of here, y'all. Love all of y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. We gonna be back at it through the week, man. And yo, y'all know what I always say, man. Listen, man, we don't change much over here.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I don't know. Yesterday's price might be a little more expensive because Pickens is slim in his Raider Nation street. Yo, y'all have a great fucking night, man. Yo, enjoy yourselves, man. I hope to see y'all next time. Peace.